Buddy, welcome to our live stream today. We have a very exciting live stream for you guys. As you guys see, I'm actually back home in my setup. There's a lot that has happened in the past few weeks. There's a lot I have to update you guys on. If you guys have been following the whole vlog series for Live Your Best Life, please continue to support us. We have really interesting things going on. We have a new week of content coming up. But in the meantime, the show must go on for our Friday Live builds. As you guys know, Friday Live builds is a chance for us to build really the coolest things possible, the most innovative ways possible to live our best life. And today we have a special guest, Angelo, who is here today with us. He is a student from Cornell, and he's very interested in making an impact in the world. And today he's here to help us with a really special project that has been in really the forefront of our minds for so long. Without further ado, maybe Angelo, you can introduce yourself a little bit, tell us a bit about you and what you're doing here, and then we'll jump straight into the contents of why we're here today talking about AI.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Angelo. I'm a senior at Cornell University, and I'm really interested in social impact entrepreneurship, and that's kind of where I'm like leaning my life towards. And why I'm here today is to discuss and talk about and work through things about AI and like how we can apply it to the community.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah, so I think it's so interesting. I want to first also like really talk a bit about the story of how we met because I think like there's a lot of really interesting points there, and I think it's a great like reminder for people connections and like serendipity happens when you just reach out, when you just show up, right? So Angelo actually reached out to us around I think 5 6 months ago already, and he wanted to work with us on bringing the Gamify Your Life project to at-risk individuals in the school system. Right now in all of America, there's tons and tons of students who, really think they want to improve their lives in some meaningful way. They believe that there's something they can do, but they don't know how to achieve that, right? And as we know, if you're not a stranger to this community, we know that gamification is the way, right? Games are really easy to get into. They have a very clear progression structure. They have a clear rewards and risks associated with every action that you take. In real life, it's not so simple, right? So gamification helps bridge that gap. It helps show anybody really that things are possible, right? If you are simply putting a different mindset or a different way of thinking into how you're kind of interpreting the world. So Angela came to us and said, "Hey, I really want to, modify this a lot for this, at-risk individuals in schools. I want to throw in Cornell's own resources because Cornell has a lot of different resources on how to do career finding, how to, in a sense, live your best life, right? As a student, as someone who's, just figuring out their way in the world." And I'll, we've been working on that for a little bit. If you're interested in joining that project, please reach out to us afterwards. We'd love more volunteers and more people to work with that project because we think there's just so much potential in like really pushing this directly into the school system, integrating with some of the curriculum that students are going through. But in the meantime, I realized that, Angela, you are a fantastic AI engineer. I don't know if that's the right thing to call you. Maybe you might have a different name for that, but like I just think of it as AI magic, right? Because you came with me with every time we met up on a weekly basis, right? You would show me these like really cool like AI kind of builds. Like a one thing that you showed me recently that I love so much is the whole learning how to learn, right? Like an interactive kind of learning experience. Can you tell us a bit about that? And like, I'm so excited. I want to share everything cool that you have. Maybe you could tell the world a bit about that.
Yeah, I'd love to. So that came out of like, well, it had some personal inspiration, and I'll share that. And it came out of like wanting to add really useful stuff into the project about gamify your life in school.
Mm.
But the personal part of it is my partner. She likes to study by telling people things, like explaining what she learned back, so she could like reconceptualize it in her head and then explain it at a level they know. And then one frustration she was having was that everyone kind of like studying and being in their own like world with like how they do school. She was having a hard time finding people to explain it to them. I wasn't always free. Her friends weren't always free.
Mm.
Um, so like what I saw that as the bridge was AI, and then I have like a little bit of like knowledge and know-how about like developing AI applications with ChatGPT. So that was like the first thing I went to, and then the
Mm,
application is very cool. It's like that whole learning, teaching people, and like learning that way is called the Feynman technique, and
mm,
you just kind of think about different levels of knowledge the person like different levels of knowledge that the person might have that you're teaching.
hmm.
So you explain a concept you learn as if you were talking to a 5-year old, a 10-year old, a college student, a high school student, and your brain is making like rewiring all these. Your brain is rewiring and then making all these connections. So that's basically what the application does. It leads you through that Feynman method.
Yeah, which I thought was super cool. Like, even just that itself revolutionized the way that we learn, right? Because if you think about it, right now, when we think about the process of going to school and learning something new, like the only chance we get to test our knowledge is at at the test, right? At the end of term, midterm, and the end of term. Those are your two most important tests, and you don't really get any other opportunity to test your understanding and your knowledge, right? Maybe you have a peer study group if you're lucky, right? If you find the right environment and you put yourself in that situation. Maybe you're a gung ho student, you go talk to your prof. But like most chances is that like if you're introverted a little bit, or you don't have the right environment, or COVID is happening, how do you test your knowledge? How do you actually know that you actually understand the material, right? And when you're tested on it, you're being tested at the college level because you're going to be again going or a high school level, wherever kind of student you are. But you're basically testing at your level, and you have no idea if you could explain that concept succinctly enough to a 10-year-old, right? To a 5-year-old, whatever. And I think that is the missing piece really for education for me. And when I saw that Angelo built something so cool like that, and by the way, can I even show it? Can I show it? Is it still live? Posted on Streamyard,
Uh,
I think, right?
yeah, let me check really quick.
Okay, wait, no, I haven't pulled up, so maybe I'm just gonna. Do you mind if I show it live? I think it's so cool. Okay,
Yeah, sure.
perfect. I'm gonna open a new tab, and I'll switch over to a bigger screen so you guys can see. But like, this is like one of the coolest things that I've seen in a long time. I think this will revolutionize, uh, studying, and I'm so happy to like be able to just be a part of it, right? To see how we can push it out to more people through the Gamify Your Life system. But anyway, so what we have here is, like we just talked about, it's a proven learning strategy by Richard Feynman. I love Richard Feynman, by the way. If you don't know about him, please, after the stream, Google him, watch his lectures. He's a Nobel Prize winning physicist, but his voice is so calming. Like he is the best prof that I want, like for every teach me everything. And he has an amazing book that's more like a autobiography kind of style. Love it, love it. Anyways, so we're going to choose a concept that we want to understand. We're going to explain it as we're teaching to someone else, identify gaps in our understanding from the explanation, and then review it and simplify our explanation further. So what Angelo has built is an AI bot that basically allows you to choose any topic that you're learning about, describe what level you want to teach it at. So let's say I think I know a lot about, let's say, productivity. Let's talk about, let's yeah, actually, maybe Angela, you can give me a topic. I think last time I did that as well, whereas like just like any random topic relating to like maybe the things that we talk about a lot, or I don't know. It's up to you actually. Whatever. So it's not so planned. Yeah, more serendipitous, let's say. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask you to do the level 3 with the 10-year-old, and then I want you to explain the para method.
The para
Which,
method.
yeah,
But would it know the para method? Interesting. Would it know?
yeah.
Oh,
I don't know, but you'll
okay.
explain it and you'll learn.
Okay. I'm learning about the para method and if you guys don't know what a para method is, I talked about it in my last stream. But this is the para method to organize files effectively. Um, how to use the para method to organize files effectively. Okay, cool. I'm going to teach it at level 3. So interesting. I actually have no idea how this will go. I'm worried. Let's see. Okay, hello. So chatbot. So explain the para method to me like a 10-year-old. So the para method is, so I gotta explain. This is a 10-year-old child, right? What language can I use to explain to this person what para is? Oh my gosh. Okay, so the para method is a way to organize your computer files. Um, you will have to um, think of your life as four different. Oh, it's so hard. Think think you have um, to start. Imagine you have four different boxes that you want to store your um, your things in. I'll store your toys in. Okay, perfect. Let's do toys. Store your toys in. um, uh, First, you may have a box to store all of your toys that you are always playing with every single day. This is your projects box. Next, you will have a box that stores all your toys. Not your toys. So now we're talking about areas, right? So areas would be more like it's not active things you're playing with, but rather it's going to be um, more general, like um, categorization or like um, what's the hierarchy above toys? Do you think? Um, these are all the things that you. Okay, okay. Toys in. Okay, wait. So next you have a box that stores all your living essentials, living all your everything that stores everything else everything you need to live. You will have your food. You will have your bibs, right? You will have your not bibs. I guess there are 10, but you will have your I don't know, your drinks. You will have your, I don't know, bed go in there. Next, you will have a box for your resources. This is where you will keep all your tools to fix your toys if they are broken. Lastly, you have a box for your archive where you will put your broken, will put toys and we'll put things you don't need for now, but can't, uh, but can't throw away yet. Oh, this is complicated, and I'm not sure.
It's
Interesting.
awesome watching you work through.
Yeah, I hope it's interesting to you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so now it's going to come back. It's saying, wow. So if I understood right, para method is like sorting toys into four different boxes. One for my favorite toys that I play with all my time. One box for the things that help me live, like food and bed. And another box for tools I can take from toys resources. And then the last box where I keep stuff I don't know how about use someday, archive. Did I get it right? Yes, you got it right. Do you have any other questions? Because they're only at 60% level, right? So obviously there's more to understand.
Yeah.
So great.
That's just
So
another I wanted to make. How it works is like each level, it represents like a different level of understanding, and level three being the hardest is like the lowest level of like general knowledge understanding. And then when you start it, you have a like a percentage to complete understanding. So that's how you could like say, okay, I explained everything I need to know about this, and I'll help you fill your like knowledge gaps. So that's like another great thing about it.
yeah, well, let me try to do a bit more because I'm curious. I want to get to the end, right? So, and by the way, we need fanfare. We need once we get 100%, we need like celebration, okay? But the general rule is that if you will be playing with your toys, every day. At least once that week, you should keep it in the project box. And if you find yourself um, not touching something for a month or more, not using something, I guess, using something for a month or more, put it into archive. Um, yeah, so I think this is really good because how many times do we get an actual like 10-year-old to teach, right? So okay, so uh, I see now. If I have a toy card that I play with often, it goes in the project box. But if there's an old teddy bear I don't play with anymore, I can't throw away. It goes in the archive. Actually, that's a great way of explaining it. Now I will know how to explain it better to a student, right, or to a kid.
Yeah.
Okay, but let me ask: what if there's some toys that belong to my brother and not me? Where should those go, or does parent only work for my own stuff? Uh, you can have a. Uh, it depends if you guys are sharing the same boxes. Um, which you might if you live in the same room. If you have your own separate boxes, you should store what belongs to you in your own box and his own toys in his own box too. So we're close, right? 85. But I'm
Yeah.
curious, like, if at the beginning I said all these things, will I jump straight to 100, or would there still be more questions to ask? Yeah.
No, I think it might put you. I have yet to get 100% on anything, but
Really?
maybe it like pushes you to like 85 off
Well, I'm
like
at
that.
95 right now, so let's cross our fingers. I'm at 95 right now. So I'm saying like, okay, they say okay, it makes sense. Oh, I got 100. That's so cool. Wait. Okay, um,
Yes.
so they're saying that they asked me if can I use this method to organize other things too, like my homework or chores, and I said yes. You can organize anything in your life, and they say that's so cool. I can use the para method to make sure I don't lose any of my important homework or forget to do any chores, and even when cleaning up my room, this is super helpful. Thanks for teaching me this. And now we have 100% understanding. Oh
We
my god, guys, that's awesome. Wait, so
yeah.
I think like that's so cool. Again, I'm super happy that you develop something like this because it makes it so easy for us to kind of imagine like what the future looks like, right? Of learning and of, you know, AI and how it actually integrate in our lives. Because we see all this hype, right? We know about ChatGPT, we know about all these things, but how do we then personalize it for our own needs? So now comes in the main topic of our live stream. I know we took a big detour, but trust me, it was worth it. The setup is important, and I want you guys to also definitely find Angelo in the community and just ask him about all the things, crazy things he's doing because there's so many cool things I love about working with him on so many different projects. But what we
Yeah.
want to talk about, what we want to put into your mind right now is imagine waking up to greet an AI bot that can help you do exactly what you want to do each day. An AI that was not hard programmed, but could adapt to your work habits, personality, and data, based on data that you give it, right? Is on your terms. An AI that ultimately will help you conquer the world, right? And succeed on your own terms. So, what kind of imagery does that give you, Angelo? Like, what do you imagine once you kind of hear those words in that succession?
Um. Well, the first thing that was coming to me when we work on this is Jarvis from Iron Man.
Uh huh.
Who he lives in the suit. He like tells him analysis is done. By the way, I'm not good on Iron Man movies, so if I say something, I didn't say it. But all the analysis, he wakes up the bots, like he does, and he has like his own personality too, which is what I imagine.
Yeah. Like, it's like I think when I first heard about like different personal assistants, right? Like people are talking about Bard and they're talking about all these different assistants that were going to help you transform your life, and they're talking about this like 10 years ago, right? My immediate thought was like, I think something that searches the web is great. Like it's a great start, no doubt, it's a great start. But I want something that actually interfaces with my life, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I might want to find this next recipe that is going to help me cook my eggs in the morning. But should I eat eggs at all, right? Like that,
Hmm.
those are my questions. Like, why,
Yeah.
why are you just giving me the thing that I'm asking for and not considering all the other things that I might need to know as an individual person to help me succeed in my life? As simple as meal preparing, as complicated as goal setting, right? Hey, I have all these goals that I want to do. Is it realistic? And is there a better way for me to target to all do all those things, right? Based on my past history of doing goals. So if
Yes.
for the life of me, I've never been able to do, let's say, 1 month goals, why am I setting a 1 month goal, right? For example. And if for the life of me, I've never been able to manage more than 5 projects at a time, why am I scheduling 7 for my next month? Why am I
Yeah.
setting myself up for failure? And I love this specific idea that has been propagated a lot in a lot of like wellness and health and I guess health communities where it's like you need to always be bridging the line between bored and ambitious, right? And overwhelmed, not overwhelmed, but like having a lot on your plate, right? Because if you're too bored, if you have nothing on your plate, you end up wasting away and you don't feel fulfilled and you don't do the things that matter to you. If you end up doing too much, you get overwhelmed and you can't do everything you want. You break down, you overheat, and you basically burn out. So you need a balance, right? And what all I really want in life is like a processing power beyond my own brain and beyond my second brain and Notion, right? And all these other tools. Because by the way, that's what I thought second brain meant when I first heard about like, oh, build a second brain. I'm like, fantastic. It's gonna process everything for me. It's gonna store, process, and do, right? Ideally, the do step is important too, by the way. And we're not there yet, right? But nothing's gonna do anything for me. But I imagined like that's the workflow, right? Store my information, memorize everything, have a perfect memory, right? I don't have perfect memory for sure. I want a AI or a bot or a database to have that. That's Notion for me right now. Now, based on that data that I have, I wanted to do processing. I want to know insights about my life. I want to understand myself better. I want to know what I should be doing better with my life every day. What are the things, the blind spots I have, because I am an emotional bag of meats, right? And I want something that is not so emotional to actually interpret things and help me like live my best life. And then the last step, which I don't think is in our scope today, but something that does it for me as well. That would be nice. Like if there's an execution part of that layer, amazing. But we're not there yet. Trust me. But anyways, um,
I think that
for
was like a really
please, yeah,
I think that was like a really beautiful image of like what a second brain and what you think AI and all these things should be able to do. And I feel like where all of this like stands out, where all of the things we're doing stands out right now is like optimization, how you're saying, where it
yeah,
could tell you like that's actually not good for you, or you need to work through some things before you work on this project or that project, or you shouldn't even really take on that project because you have a tendency to X, X, and Y, you know?
yeah. And even like so, one quick thing too is that hey, I my system currently has a lot of things to help guide my decision making process. I have these
Mm.
areas of life I want to improve on. I have these values that I want to live by. I have all these goals I have. Every day, my task list, I guarantee you 50% are side quests in relation to that, overall objectives that I've set up for myself and the way I want to live my life. It shouldn't be, right? If I am truly integrated as a person, if I truly understand like what I want to do and where I want to go. But again, I'm emotional, right? Things change. Every day something different happens in my life and it may make me feel different ways, right? And
Yeah.
what we need is something that keeps us on track, right? It's almost like it's something that you designed to be good to you based on what you told it to be good on. So the way I like to think about it, it's not like an overbearing mother, right? A lot of people think about that. It's like, oh, what does a world with like AI look like? Oh, it's an overbearing mother. It's gonna tell you how to live, how to eat, how to do things, and you have no freedom, no free will. I disagree. My perspective on what a perfect, I guess, quote unquote, AI will look like in the future is one that I have informed it what I want in my life, and it's doing its best to act according to what I have designed as what life should look like for me. And I think that's super important because that gives you again agency over how you want to live your life. You're not dictated by anyone else, but you're simply just getting all the best practices and the best processing to live that best life for yourself. And I think that's super important. And if you don't have that, like you're just not going to be able to really succeed in the way that you want to um, live your best life. Like, why waste the opportunity to have the brain power of, millions and millions of neurons, or trillions, I guess, right? And just rely on your own sack of meat. It just seems a bit ridiculous to me when I think about it that way. Yeah.
Mm.
So, um, I want to come to you, Angelo, because we've already obviously built something on this. We're not just talking out of thin air. We have a lot of ideas and we have already implemented a lot of stuff. But what what does this AI look like to you? I'm curious. Like, what questions would you ask it, and what kind of data do you think you would need to provide this AI for it to be successful?
That's a really good question. Um, I think for me, this AI is like I keep coming back to like this Jarvis picture, but I'm thinking something that like stays with you wherever you go and like is integrated into your life, where almost like an Alexa, but more personal and more conversational, where it's like you can involve in intimate matters in your life and you can trust it to like make good decisions and not like steal all your data and sell it or like anything like that.
Sure.
I just like something that's like really trustable and like I can ask and probe and not feel any guilt that I may feel like asking an advisor or like a mentor. Something that can actually like I this kind of relates to another project I did, but like something that I can be vulnerable with and not feel like I need to act away or like I need to come to a conclusion. And then the connection is that I the first like AI thing I ever built was like it's themed and it's themed for the Gamify Your Life School project, but it's kind of like a counselor and a therapist as. And then it's just like the input that I gave it was to speak from a place of compassion and a place of trying to get me to somewhere better mentally or physically or spiritually. And I've had so much success. Like I'll be going through like a bad day or I'll be going through something with my partner or with my mother or my brother, and I'll ask it and it'll give me like rational things I can do and rational things I can think about. So
that's super
like,
cool.
Yeah, having something like that is almost, I don't know how to describe it because it feels like not related, not made or like not people's lives. Like it's like a therapist.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess that's again important, right? Like my perspective is done right, like an app like this would be able to be better than I think some therapy options, right? Or at least a tool for therapy. Because the issue is that when you go to therapy, you're relying on, again, a mere mortal, right, to interpret your life and give you a perspective that you might not have seen before. And yes, they can ask amazing questions, and ultimately the work is done in your own mind. But the challenge is that it's not necessarily very easy for you to or for them to also remember everything about you, right? And also have the best thing to say every time, right? And I think that if you're AI informed, at least, you will have a much better chance to help more people than if you're not. So I think that's where my perspective comes in, really. And yeah, it just makes me so excited to be able to, think about these things more and work on these things more. So let's jump into this and let's talk a bit about how we get all these things done. Well, the first thing is, we piped in some data into our AI bot that we've created. And I guess spoilers out, we already have created a bit of a bot, right? We're here to show you guys how it works and see how we can play around with it together. But basically, I use some of my data from my Notion system, right? I have my success plan, which I imported into a CSV for now, just to show you guys. And I also have data from my completed habits, which is from the Make Work Fun app. If you're not familiar with Make Work Fun app, just a quick guide into it. Basically, we created this app to gamify all your different wins across Notion, across Airtable, across Obsidian, across all the different tools that you might have. And you can track your wins in real time as you hand them in and as you basically are going through your to-do list, right? And we're making it so that you're not just bored going through your system, but rather you're making work fun. So we have stuff like tracking your wins, where if you hand in something, you get a new win, you can get like a little bit of a prize. And then also we get stuff like doing your dailies, right? So you can go ahead and hand your dailies, like your mood. You can record time. You can do checkboxes. You can do counters. Really, the worlds are there's no limit to the things you could do. So that's really awesome. And also there's like party quests as well that you can go on to help motivate and maintain your enthusiasm as you go through difficult challenges through your day, right? And eventually slay that dragon. So what we've done is we basically went through all our different data and said, hey, let's just pump it all into this AI bot, right? And then let's see what it comes out with, right? Let's see how it will then process that information and give us information back so that we can understand like, hey, what are the different questions we can ask it to really help make our life better. And I guess I can, let me not spoil the data. I mean, we just pump raw data into it. Maybe Angelo, you can share your screen and then you can show us how the bot looks and works.
Yeah. I think a good place for me to start is like a Python notebook. I did most of it in Python, and then I'll kind of explain the functionalities and we'll do like a little test.
Okay, perfect. So let me switch over to your screen and then feel free to present.
Thanks.
Awesome. I'm also going to check on a few things.
Can you see my screen?
I can, yeah. A little bit blurry, but we'll do. It's all good. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm gonna go through like the notebook very, very quickly.
Yeah.
And I'm not like an expert or CS major or anything like that. So anything you see that looks crazy, it probably is crazy. But that said, I do have some experience and I love collaboration and talking with people and getting to know people. So if you have any questions, I'd love to talk about it with you and like explain things if you're having troubles with your own projects. So I'll get into it now. What I did on this page is basically like installations and importing the tools I'm going to use for the project. And then I call my API key for, or I define my API key for OpenAI, which is like the backbone of this bot. Then I loaded some documents from Amazon S3. That kind of spoils it. We weren't trying to spoil it, but that spoils it.
It's all good. I think if people watch till now, they deserve a little bit.
They do. So I imported it and loaded it, and that's what you're seeing now. That's the majority of it. And then what you have to do to kind of make an AI bot personalized is you have to gather information, then split it. And from there, you create these things called embeddings, which is like representation of data, and you put in a storage. So that's all the process that's going on right now. And
very interesting.
For me playing around. And then I initialized the database where I shouldn't have the API key, so I'm gonna hide it. And then I created an index called LangChain Conrad info. And then from that index, we create these things called doc searches or vector stores, and I call them doc searches. And then vector stores are what allows you to like parse through the data. So that's exactly the process that happens when you have the AI bot and you're asking it to reference Conrad's habits or Conrad's tasks that he likes to do. So
are you tagging any data? I'm just curious. Like, is there any high-level tags that you're putting so it's easier to comb through the vector database to find information, or labeling? I guess.
Yeah, no, not right now. I think maybe in the future, like we think about like pre-processing and like optimization. This is like very wrong. This is like the sheet that was all like proof of that I could do something like this. So
yeah,
it was like
awesome
solutions. So there's definitely no free tagging. And then the tool that allows you to like make a bot that knows all these things is LangChain, and there's different solutions. What I'm using is LangChain, and then I define that using OpenAI. I give it a few functions so it knows what to do, and those functions are retrieved from. We have a visitor. Retrieved from the vector source, and then you give it a system message. I want you to act like a Jarvis bot named DB for the users of CoX3's Notion template, and then submit. And then you could ask it questions, and then you should see from the responses that it does like invoking access success plan. That's the task, and then it's like a system of self-querying. So it'll go into it, find like recent tasks by querying into it and querying recent tasks. And then it comes up with a result. It translates the result into like your theme of CoX3 bot. So then you for this, I won't go into this questions because we're gonna do it, but this is like all the
amazing.
With that, what I've done is create an API, which is like a way that many companies allow you to access their services or data. So I made an AI for the thing, for the bot.
Okay.
A simple chat interface, and it may not work right now, so we'll see if it does.
It's all for experimentation. Let's do it.
Yes, we'll say hi. Oh, all right. Hi. Start with hi.
Yeah, all sorts of hi.
The name is, I'm going to say Conrad because that's the data we have.
Sure.
And it wants to ask you something. It's very quick, and as you can see, it's kind of like word by word, which is like a streaming thing.
I love it. Yeah, it's just like ChatGPT.
Yeah, that's like what the goal was. And now, for the moment of truth, we ask, what are some tasks or some habits I have going on?
So it will interpret even like grammar. What are some habits I going on?
Yeah.
Love it.
And let's see, it looks like it's not going to give me a response. I'm going to look at the dashboard. Yeah, we have an error.
It's great. Let's figure that out. I think we're in the development process, so that's super awesome, right? We're just sharing with people in the community and also trying to get them to come in and help. If you guys know anything about AI, or even if you don't, right? You're just curious about this project. We'd love to get beta testers to come and work with us on this. We'd love to get people to come and just rigorously test. Anyone who wants to share their data set, right, their Notion, with us to see like if it can answer questions for me, for Angelo, and also for you guys as well. Super important. But also just getting everyone's like input and getting us an opportunity to work together and collaborate. That's the name of the community, right? Community of co-creation, collaboration.
Yeah. I second that message so much. All this process, I've felt like the collaboration, the feelings I have collaborating with Conrad, and they're like nice community feeling, and I love for other people to be able to feel that as well.
Amazing. It's been a pleasure working with you as well. I'm so excited. Honestly, it's just fun. Like it's so much fun in like building these things, right? Like we're innovating every day. We're trying something new, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and we'll figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah. I did try again secretly, and it didn't work, but that is so okay.
It's all good. We saw. Again, I think the thing is right now we're in deployment. We're in integration and deployment hell. We'll figure that out. But like basically, right now it works on local for the most part. Actually, do you want to show on local? Maybe on local will be fine.
Yeah, I'll try.
Yeah, because we had a problem with deployment on AWS. We had to switch to Heroku. But like again, this is all part of the development process. I'm more than happy to talk about like this because this is what the whole point of live builds, right? We're showing you live how we thought about things, right? We showed you the whole technical process. And now we're going to show you like what does the build look like, and even the difficulties in getting the build up and going. And Angela had put blood, sweat, and tears into getting this deployment going. So I mean, I think it's only fair that the world gets to see like the, you know, how the accumulation, you know, of the, you know, effort has been. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll open up a local file I have.
Yeah.
Again.
Well, in the meantime, I'll show a bit about the UI and how it might look, and feel free to just grab your. Let me know when your local is ready. But so for me, like I want to switch over and talk a bit about. So what I have on my screen right now is the UI that I'm building currently. That I think is going to be somewhat close to the end result of our AI. I'm just calling TBD AI for now. We don't have an AI name. If you guys have a good name, also share it. We want to know. We want to know what kind of names we could give it. I have a lot of ridiculous names that I don't want to mention on stream, but you can figure out and you can tell me what you guys think would be a good name for it, and just have a nice list going on in the community. Anyways, the intention is that I want it to be a chatbot that follows you around across all our different sites in CoX3, right? Whether you're in the community, whether you're just on our Toolbox website, whether you're learning about something in our digital gardens, I don't know, right? But the idea is that you should always have access to this bot, which is going to give you three things. The first one is personalized insights, right? If you are already logged in with your email and you've already given permission for certain databases for it to access, or you've given it answers based on the questionnaire that we were going to ask you at the beginning of initializing the bot, it should give you very clear and, you know, concise, succinct information about you and how you can live your life better every single day. And you can ask the questions. That's the first thing. The second thing is that it should be a resource kind of library where you should be able to find all the different things that the community has created, all the different tools, all the different resources that we've created to help you live a better life as well. So whether it be, you know, an article that we've written about, you know, how to be more productive, or how to gamify your life, a video that we've, you know, shared, anything that's within the community and also outside that will possibly help you, you know, succeed in your journey and your adventure to be your best self. And then the third thing is you should be able to reach someone in the community that wants to help you, right? We're a community and we're a community of helpers, really, and we love to help and support each other and help each other level up. So we created a program where we have, either coaches, right? Professional trained coaches are coming in to support the community. We have mentors that want to come in and teach what they know to the next generation of builders and creators, and, you know, just people lifelong learners, right? Who want to do something interesting with their lives, right? And basically, we're creating an environment where we're enabling people to get access to, people that could help them in their field, right? That they may imagine that, hey, I'm alone. No one else has dealt with this problem before. And actually, I'm going to challenge you is that someone probably has, right? And you're not alone in this. Someone is out there willing to help and willing to engage with you to help you be your best self, to help you succeed in what you want to do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to show you a bit about like that program, because I think that program is just super near and dear to my heart. And it's something that we only started like a few months ago. So we're still definitely looking for ways to continuously work on the program and improve it. But if you go to our.x3.family, right, what you're going to be able to see once you get there is we have this thing for choose your guides. So we have mentors and consultants. So coach, mentors, consultants, 3 levels, right? And we have more people being trained up as we speak, people in the community who has graciously volunteered their time to help support the community, where they say, hey, I'm going to come in as a coach to help ignite your potential, right? They're here to guide you, to motivate you, to encourage you. Then you have mentors, right, to help you navigate your path. Someone that's walked the path before you and are trailblazing, right? And so that they can then help you walk the path that you need to walk on. And then the last one is consultant, which is people who are just very, very adept at using tools to succeed in their lives. And basically they come in and they help support you with the right tools to, you know, help you just live your best life and give you the access to the resources you need to succeed. So there's many, many different ways our community is looking to be helpful in everyone's life journey. But ultimately, at the end of the day, all we want to do is just be there to help you increase your knowledge, right? Help you gain as wide and as deep of a knowledge base as you can for yourself. help you process that and take action on that knowledge, right? So how do you actually make that meaningful in your life? And then how do you do it with a community that cares and supports you and wants to be with you every step of the way? So this AI is really the accumulation of all those different things. In my opinion, it's the bridging tool that I think is missing in a lot of our workflows. And for me personally, I'm just super excited because I have all this data about myself, but no time nor any energy to, or any way to really understand it for myself more than just looking at like reports and dashboards and whatnot. And I'm so eager to see what, how my life would look like if I'm like actually just living my life based on information that I've told an AI to understand about me and what's its interpretation of how living my best life will look like. And I'll probably even do a series on that. Maybe I'll even do a YouTube series on that. I'll show you guys, hey, I lived 100 days just listening to an AI. What does that look like to me? How does my life change? How does my life improve? I'm so curious. I actually think it might be amazing or it could be terrible, but I want to be the one to try this out for you guys, to show you how it'll look like, to show you how it'll be, so that I know, so that you guys know that I'm putting myself on the line for this. I'm showing you guys exactly how I'm gonna do this with my own body, and hopefully making any, and just showing you like, by way of doing is that, things are possible, right? And I think that's just a wonderful message to share. Angelo, how are we doing here? Any anything on your side? If not, it's okay. I'm actually very happy with what we presented so far. But
Oh no, I got it locally.
perfect. How about I switch to your screen and you can share your screen and we can close off with a bang.
Yes. That'd be a cool idea also about living life from the from AI. It's like
yeah.
I feel like I'm sure it'd be a positive outcome, but
Yeah.
with sure it's like a proof of like how like trustworthy they are. Like
Yeah.
one program.
I mean, like, it's also like, I think really dog footing, right? Like, I built something, right, with you, and I'm going to make sure that I'm using it every day, right? It's not like, that's just the way I think about everything that we share in Koi 3, right? Everything is done with an intention that, hey, we're going to try out first. And after we tried out and rigorously tested it, then we're going to say, hey, you should really try using it, right? In the meantime, for that, it's beta, right? Try it out together with us. If you care about experimental new things and you want to see what being on the forefront of innovation looks like and how it could actually impact your life, do it. I 100% wholesomely recommend it. But if you want to play it safe and you want to see what actual tangible benefits it might have, wait, no problem. But watch us on YouTube, right? Watch us and see how we're going to do it, and essentially live with us in that moment, right? You don't have to do it yet. You might not have the courage yet to try, but when you do, you'll be ready, right? If you have been following the journey so far. So, Angelo, I see your screen. Let's go ahead.
So, we have like a simple hi there. We're gonna redo the same thing.
Yeah.
It looks a little crazy. Oh, this is wrong. Oh, okay. We're gonna go hi. This it's Conrad. This should work good in all ways.
Perfect.
I want to talk about some tasks I've done recently. Can you tell me about some things I've done?
And by the way, guys, I've created like a list of like 20 questions, or at least 10 for now, like 10 to 20 questions that like I really want the bot to answer. And you can kind of think it like as a, you can think of it as a Turing test for the AI, but like not really. Like Turing test is like, oh, are you human or not, a robot? But for me, it's like, hey, are you able to actually be there to help me with the things I need to know? So right now we're asking some basic questions, but over time we're going to fine tune this model and really get it to the deep questioning that we wanted to do. Yeah.
Yeah. So back to the simple interface. I asked it, I want to talk about some things I've done recently. Can you tell me some things I've done? And it said in the very query, the database, and then put its personality on top of it. It's
Mm.
your completed tasks are buy a new mechanical keyboard, buy power play for mouse, buy Envato keylight, and
Mm-hmm.
said, sure, Conrad, here are your tasks that you completed and repeated the same things. Is there anything else you'd like to discuss? And I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna say, we're gonna try something. I'm gonna say, tell me about my habits. And then after that, I'm gonna say, can we, can you like optimize some part of my habits or the things I'm doing? Because I
Yeah.
feel like I'm having frustration with what's going on in my life. And
Yes.
if it brings me here, it may do that too. That's what.
Yeah, that's fun. No, so like I
Yeah,
think
it is.
so. Actually, this is the last minute thing that we added, which is like I gave Angela like a huge jump of all my habits that I've done like the last half a year, just as a test, right? And also I put some dummy data in there as well. But like it's so interesting, right? Like this whole experimental process, like we're trying something, then something breaks, and we try something else, something breaks, but with enough iterations, enough time, it becomes something beautiful, right? And I think that's something that I always want people to learn. Like you're not coming to the Friday Live builds to see a perfect build. I think that's unrealistic, right? I wouldn't expect the perfect build out of myself. But what I'm coming here with is like, hey, we have an idea, right? This is why we're doing it. This is what we want to accomplish, and this is how we're going to get there. And in the meantime, right, we're going to have fun along the way. I don't know exactly the process and the pains that it's going to take to get there, but I know that if we do it together with your support, right, with the community support, with collaborators and co-creators, we're going to figure out a way. And yeah, I think it's totally fine. I think maybe what we can do is I'm sure a lot of people in the community are going to be really excited for part 2, part 3, part 4, whatever of this series. If you guys want to stay involved, please chat with us in the community. We have a post in Share Challenges that's all about this. I'm going to just open this right now just to show you guys. But we have a post over in Share Challenges that talks about, this project and what we're trying to do here. If you're interested, please come in and please chat with us on this. We want as many people as we can to be a participatory, right? Either you can give us ideas, you can be as simple as just supporting us from the sidelines. I don't know, right? But be here and chat with us and help us on this journey and, be part of the exciting build if you're curious about these kind of things. We're also going to be releasing MVPs of this really soon. I'm going to try to get, at least the chatbot UI to be up and going by the end of the month so that we'll start installing it on different sites. So instead of our normal kind of chatbot interface, as you can see, usually we have an intercom on the bottom right. Now we're going to have this. It's going to be our new chat interface to chat with the team as well. If you have any help with anything that was within the community, within nonprofit that you want to ask about, feel free to just ask there. But also we're going to start building AI tools into it little by little, and you're going to start opting in, and just be really cool. Just be part of this journey. And aside from that, Angelo, do you have any last things you want to ask? Oh, one more thing too. Sorry, developers. If you're a developer, please come. We have so many development projects. This is one of many. We have so many things going on. It's so cool. Please come in and please support us and please be part of the builds. We're here for you. We want to build cool stuff. If you have an idea even of some thing that will help people out there, tell us. Be like Angelo. Hey, I want to build this thing. Can we do it? I was like, yeah, of course. Why not? Let's do it. Yes, Angelo. Anything you want to say?
Yeah, just like a point about like trying things out and being at the forefront of like things like AI and all the changes it's bringing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it is intimidating to start a project or be a part of a project or dedicate some time, like almost donate some time. Even your feedback along the way is like extremely useful, and it could be given at any point. Like it could be given through like the YouTubes or the like the community chat, the post, like at any point, and at all points, feedback is useful and appreciated. And
Yeah.
I think the community is really cool because it's kind of a space where everybody's like, "Oh, it's cool that you're doing that. I'm doing this, and that's exciting." And how, is there any way I can get involved, or would you mind helping me like do this thing or that thing? Because I saw you did it on that, and I know like everybody is like really has like a tendency to be friendly and nice and giving. So I just want to emphasize that, point it out, and if you haven't experienced that, then I'm sure all it takes is just sending the message or saying hi or liking a post even.
Yeah. Amazing. I couldn't have said it better. Thank you, man, so much, Angelo, for being a part of this amazing journey. Again, I love the innovation you're doing. Thank you so much. And so happy to continue building things with you. I think we learned a lot from each other and we'll continue learning a lot more. And yeah, I'm just so happy to be part of this. And I think with that, please, everyone, have a wonderful start to your weekend. Please take care. Join us in the community. We have lots of events going on this weekend, so tune in if you are interested. And with that in mind, please take care. Bye-bye, guys.